Hi, everybody. It's week 5. Uh, you guys just finished your very first test. Um, Thank you, everybody, for turning in your work the way I asked you to do. I really appreciate that. I know it may seem like it's tedious, but it really does help me to be able to give you partial credit if you were to get a question wrong, but it also shows me that you're the one doing the work. And so I appreciate you doing that. That will be kind of the rule going forward for any types of exams that we do. Before we jump into the overview for this week, I just quickly wanted to go discuss what this discussion last week was about, and it was about the sums of two dice. I think that this graph was a hit compared to some of the other weeks. I saw several people commented on the fact that it was, you know, although a little bit different, it was very much like a bar graph. Um, a lot of people commented on how it visually showed the representation of those dice sums, the different makeups of those dice sums, and they mentioned the color coding of the different numbered sides of the die. Like purple was 4, white was 1, yellow was 2, so on and so forth. Um, a lot of people mentioned the how it was symmetrical, and it was like a bell-shaped curve. Um, this is this was something that was perfectly symmetrical, because it represented all the different combinations of sums. Someone, a lot of you actually mentioned probability, and I had asked what would this be considered, and actually this is basically the sample space, which is all the possible outcomes for rolling two dice. Um, so I gave a sample space, I believe, in the notes, but it was written out kind of like in ordered pairs. Like you could roll a 1 and a 1, or a 1 and a 2, or a 1 and a 3, so on and so forth. That was so boring compared to this awesome representation of it. Um, Other people mentioned the empirical rule because it is symmetrical. One student even went and calculated the mean, median, and mode and found that it was 7, and mentioned how that basically just reaffirmed what we know about empirical rule and about uh, symmetric histograms, is that that middle, the very center, is where the highest bar is, so that's the mode, but it's also the center, so it's the mean and the median, and this happens to illustrate that. So it was a great discussion overall. Um, Hopefully you'll really enjoy this week's because there's a theme to it. So let's jump into week 5 and see what's going on this week. All right, so um, this week, if you look at the agenda, the readings I have is chapter 4. Now, chapter 4 is coming, but at the beginning of the week, you're still going to be in chapter 3. So you're kind of straddling 2 chapters this week. So you're finishing up 3, and then you're beginning chapter 4. So the first lecture that you are looking at this week is the multiplication rule, which is from chapter 3, and probability. And then the second one is discrete random variables, and that is from chapter 4. And so for assignments, you technically only have 3 assignments. The last one is optional. I'll explain that in a minute. You got your data talk discussion. The initial post is due by Wednesday the 9th. Hunger Games Part 2. I know you guys have been looking forward to that. We're doing an Our Guru assignment with a Titanic theme. All of those assignments, or the middle two anyway, the Hunger Games and the Our Guru, both have to do with Chapter 3 probability. And then Test 3, actually, that should say Test 2. I need to fix that. Test 2 is coming up next week, so I went ahead and posted the review. It will be an assignment next week. It is not a requirement this week. It will be next week, but you can get a head start on it. And so any work that you do this week will count towards working on it next week. Anyway, it's a great way to review. And then we've got our homework assignments. There are 4. Okay, and then as always, I've got the activities in suggested order. That first homework assignment, 3.2.1, actually goes along with the notes we took last week. It's on mutually exclusive events. So I have that one kind of listed first after the data talk. And then conditional probabilities and multiplication rule you can do after viewing the multiplication rule video, and then 4.1.1 after you review the discrete random variables videos. And yeah, that's basically it for the week. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to email me. But you can also post your questions on the Padlet wall. No one has been posting anything, so I would love to see some questions posted here so that I could answer them. And I would love also for you to come visit me during office hours if you need help. My office is in room 206 in Braddock Hall. And just remind you, at the bottom of course materials is my faculty contact information, my office number, along with my office hours, along with a link. You don't need to schedule an appointment if you're coming in person. You only need to schedule it if you're trying to schedule online office hours with me via Zoom. But I just wanted to remind you that that was there. Okay, so I don't really have anything else. Have a great week, and if you need my help, don't hesitate to contact me. Okay, bye.